Hey, Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations, the membership, everything, hypes, everything. I appreciate it all. We're going to ring the spell. We're going to clear out the energy, and then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning, or whenever you happen to see this. Someone knows now. Every offer is not a good offer. All money ain't good money. Everybody, when they tell you something, it may not necessarily be the truth. Like going to a strange city and kind of getting lost and asking somebody for directions. And they're telling you, all you got to do is just go straight down this street. When you get to the church, you turn left. At that next corner, you turn right. You're going to get on the highway. You're going to take the highway about 12 miles over. Once you cross that bridge, it's going to be that first exit. You're like, okay, perfect, thanks. But the person that just gave you the directions knew that the place you was looking for was one block over here. Hey, Addie. Hey, Shaylin. Hi, Helga. Hey, Alshina. How are you? So somebody's finding out that they have to do their own research. They have to find their own way as opposed to relying on someone else's word. Hey, LP. All money ain't good money. We're going to start with the stack today. See what starts there. What's the message, Spirit? Okay. Yeah, somebody did something that changed their destiny by following the words of a bum. You know, somebody is, and this could have happened in July, or July is very important to this. They didn't, and they don't know something about somebody doesn't know how you evaded their schemes in December. Something about some spiritual protection in August. So we have a lot of months coming up. July, August, December. Something about some type of karmic web too. And they finally woke up. Could be they finally woke up in February. It's a lot of months. Hey, J Mike. Hey, Behaving. How are you? See, you're not stressed, but somebody else is. And this is somebody that could be sweating bullets, because they did something and that they shit on themselves, basically. This is somebody that should have redirected. And they're pressed about you as well. And then somebody looks like a straight up bully. And they were hell-bent on trying to destroy you. Now, as somebody thinks about it, now it makes sense. Yeah, because like somebody could have had their head stuck up in their own ass, believing that they believe somebody that had a title or some type of status who agreed to not tell you about the money. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Bottom of the deck. This could be having to do with the King of Wands. Hey, Red Violet. And something about the truth. Something about the truth about something is over. King of Wands understands that something that they may have been able to pull over somebody else's eyes before, they're no longer able to do because the sun is out. And although somebody may be younger, that person is definitely protecting themselves. See, I feel like there was somebody, maybe this King of Wands was older, and they was telling this younger person something. And at first the younger person was like, yeah, what? Word? Damn, okay. Right, right. And they was eating it up, like, like that person was just spitting out truth, only to find out it was a lie. It was all a lie. And that younger person started to defend themselves. And now this King of Wands understands that somebody knows the truth and their reign is over. Hey, the soul archetype. Yeah, because somebody they're looking at things totally differently now. And they see that somebody was just out to make them look bad. Somebody was lying. They was they was doing too fucking much. And this person had been working hard to accomplish something for a while now. They've been putting a lot of sweat, tears, into something for a long time, but they found out that what they was working on, it was like it was a big waste. You know how somebody tells you, if you do this and you keep doing this and you're like doing it, but it's not working out. And it's like, hey, patience, just have patience. Trust me, just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And you keep doing it only to find out it never, ever, 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 ever fucking works. Something like that. So I feel like, with this, somebody, they was talking to the crowd or gossiping. Somebody this could have been a head witch and the coven. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A head witch in the coven, because somebody was doing something to fuck up somebody's mind. Like the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, they was working together, but that Page of Wands didn't. It's like they believed in what they said, but there was something that just wasn't right. But yet they was still taking those directions down the street, around the corner, over the hills and under the woods and everything else, only to find out in the end it was all a lie. Yeah, because somebody had a title. They had some type of status. And that younger person relied on them, only to find out that they was doing the worst. They was trying to do the worst to this younger person. They was trying to, they deceived this person. They betrayed this person. They lied to this person. This is 17 swords. Break that down. This is an 8. This is like they had this person trapped. And that was their intention, to trap this person so that this person didn't see that they were some type of warlock. They wanted somebody to not be able to prosper. And they wanted somebody to kind of hold back from their own inheritance. Confirmation. They didn't want somebody to understand who they were or what they was here to do. They tried to get this person to hold back. They was like, no, trust us, trust us, trust us. Only to find out that person should have never trusted them motherfucking lies, period. See, who had the strength was this Queen of Cups. That was the person who had the strength. But yet, that King and Queen of Wands, that witch and that warlock, they were trying to come against that Queen of Cups. They was trying to start something. They was trying to have people go into battle against the Queen of Cups. And they made it sound so convincing. See, somebody couldn't see there was this little fish in this cup, because it made it sound so convincing, like, well, why would they lie? But see, Somebody now, it's like they realize it was all a lie. There was that fish in that cup. They see it now. Now they want to come towards somebody that, and they want to, like somebody that had walked away from them, and they want to bring that cup. They want to it's like they're walking away from, they're leaving that couple that was lying to them, and they're going in search of their own ninth cup, as opposed to believing somebody else. Like I said, they was following the direction of some people that was just lying to them for the longest, and they thought that everything that they wanted was going to be right there. And so it's like they decided that they're going to leave, and they're going to go in search of their own ninth cup. Somebody's and they're even wondering, are they ever going to find it? Why did they put so much stock into thinking that they needed to be part of this coven, when they realized that they had their own destiny right here? So somebody's making some other plans, and it's going to work out. It's going to be just what the doctor ordered. This is going to be justice for them once and for all. Because now they understand somebody was telling them the truth. And this is somebody who they can have that ninth and that 10th cup with. This is somebody that wasn't just telling them the truth. This is somebody they want to be with. This is somebody that holds them up. This is somebody that makes them feel good about themselves. That is not going to lie. Is not going to tell them, go this way, go that way, go this way, go that way, get on the highway, go 12 miles down, then get off. No, this person is going to tell them the truth about, it's right here. Turn around and you'll see it right there. Realizing that they worked with the wrong people that kept them stuck with those 8 of Swords. It's like they overheard some type of conversation, how these two people were still planning and plotting, trying to figure out, how can we keep them stuck some more? Oh no, they may be waking up. Hey, K Hypsee. Yeah, somebody, it's like they're moving. They're going in the right direction. Spirit is carrying them forward. Somebody decided that it's time for them to be the king of their own land, to make their own wise decisions. Stop following what somebody else is telling them to do, and to do their own thing. It's time for this person to be independent. They have everything that they need. They can make it on their own. In fact, the more that they were investing in those other people, the more they were losing. Someone wants that wheel of fortune to turn in their favor, and this is why they've blocked those other people. They no longer want to be in contact. They no longer want to be in communication. In fact, they don't even want to hear from them lying ass motherfuckers. Because, somebody that they held in high esteem, somebody that they just felt, well, this person would never do me wrong, only to find out that was the biggest fucking devil. This is the one who gave the worst advice. This is somebody they should have left the fuck alone. And they're upset about it, because I hear Sasha just really upset about whoever she can't get to. Somebody decided that they are exercising some faith. They're taking a leap of faith. They're going in a whole new direction. because they remember in the past, how things were much better for them, how they were happy, how they were on the right track, how they had these goals, these dreams, these wishes, and how it was in their mind that they were going to live happily ever after. Somebody is on their way to their 10th cup. They're not giving up. This person is thinking about how they graciously, willingly gave to some people in the past, that King and Queen of Wands, only to find out that they were letting that King and Queen of Wands steal their money. Not so much steal it, because they gave it to them, but they was allowing somebody to fill their mind with bullshit when they should have been using their own discernment. And then, instead of them exercising, discernment, instead of them saying, wait, my money's funny, and let me not do it, it's almost like they kept on. It's almost like they were being stubborn. It's almost like they felt like, no, somebody told me that if I do this and just keep going, I'll be there, thinking that if they kept going in that same direction, that they'll be there. Even if somebody told them you're not going the right way, this person would just fold their arms, like they didn't want to hear what somebody else was saying. And they was like, somebody told me I'm going in the right direction and I intend to go there. Until they couldn't any longer. Until they had to admit to themselves it just didn't make sense. Until they had to admit to themselves that they had been bamboozled. Then they were sitting here looking at all the lies, trying to figure out why they didn't see any of these red flags that were waving in front of their face. But now it's like somebody wants to talk about something, or they want to talk to you, or they want to communicate with you. Because, like I said, they want to communicate with you because they know that, not only are you going to tell them the truth, but you're going to be like, you're going to have that compassion. You're going to have that heart, because they know that you actually care. You're not going to turn your back. You're not going to try and bamboozle them. You're not going to try and get them back. You're not going to try any of that bullshit. You're going to come with the truth. Even though they couldn't see it before because they didn't want to see it. Even if they doubted you before because they wanted to doubt you for whatever reason, they no longer want to do that any longer. They understand the power that you hold. This is why somebody feels like they need to come and they have to get some answers, some direction, some guidance. Expect someone to contact you. Expect someone to come back. Because now this person is seeing that, you know what? You was the best thing. This doesn't have to be about a romantic relationship. It could be about a friendship. It could be part of your family. It could be a coworker. But somebody is now seeing you in a totally different light. That King and Queen of Wands had told this person not to trust you. They said, don't trust them. That person is a bad person. Oh, that person is going to take your money. They're going to, do this. They're going to do that. Don't trust them. But now someone, like I said, they realize They have to think for themselves. Instead of taking what somebody else said, they should have sat back and thought about the relationship between you and them. Because we have a different relationship with each and every person. It's not the same. You could have 3 people that are friends, but 2 of those people are going to be closer than, the third one. And it doesn't mean that they're not friends. It's just that each one of them have a different relationship. Joe, Sally, and Helen. Well, Sally and Helen may be close like sisters. Helen and Joe may be, cool like friends. Joe and Helen, Sally and Helen, you know what I'm saying. I got mixed up on the fucking names. Just like a family. You could have those siblings that are tighter than tight, and then those siblings that don't talk at all. Because even though they're part of the same group, doesn't mean that they share the same type of relationship. See, somebody, they happen to notice something about that King and Queen of Wands. They happen to look real close, like they all of a sudden were paying attention. And they saw how they was purposely saying things, doing things, creating situations, that didn't even need to be created. Things that didn't even need to be said. Starting shit that didn't even need to be started. That's when this King of Cups said that it was time for them to get up out of there. I feel like this King of Cups is going to send some type of communication, some type of message. Letting you know that either, how they hold you in high esteem, how they see that you were able to win some type of spiritual battle, win the war, some type of accolades or something. Somebody wants to send you a message to let you know that you stand out, that you are victorious for the actions that you took. Somebody wants to travel towards you, and they want to talk with you. I feel like they want to sit down and they want to have a face-to-face conversation with you. So I'm picturing somebody like picking you up and holding you way high in the sky as a representation of how much you mean to me. Because this person, they never felt right doing you wrong. They always had this internal struggle with themselves, like they're fighting against themselves to do you wrong because they was listening to somebody who they really figured out didn't like you, was envious of you, wanted to, for whatever reason, take you down, wanted you to fail. Somebody, maybe you told them, some information, and like I said, they was just so adamant. They was like, nope, 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 nope. King and Queen of Wands said I need to go this way. I got about 12 confirmation, 12 more miles this way. And you said, no, all you got to do is just turn around. It's right here. And they say, no, these two would never lie to me. And they told me don't believe you because you're going to lie to me. Now they're thinking about everything that they invested in, and it was like a wasted investment. How much time they wasted, how much money they wasted, how much energy they wasted, and the relationship that they wasted with you. See, judgment has been called. They finally called judgment. on that King and Queen of Wands. They finally are looking closely at this one pentacle that you told them was right there, right? And all they had to do was turn around if they wanted to find it. But yet, and they're now finally turning around and looking at that one pentacle from being, just a little bit short before. They want to heal this whole relationship. They want to heal the hurtful words, the hurtful actions, the hurtful things that they've done against you. They want to heal themselves. They want to make sure that you're healed. They want to make sure that your relationship is healed. They felt some type of way with you talking about your spirituality. They felt some type of way denouncing that Archangel Michael was always there to fight your battles. Even though they couldn't see Archangel Michael, nobody can, but they felt some type of way. And this is why they feel that they had to go through the struggle. This is why they felt that, they were being so stressed, because they chose not to believe. But now, somehow, they've changed their own point of view. They changed their own way of thinking. And you know what? Now somebody feels like, for the first time, they're receiving a blessing. It's different whenever we stop choosing not to believe in what we cannot see, just because we can't reach up and touch God, because God is within us. Just because we cannot see those archangels and our passed over loved ones, them around us, supporting us, protecting us, guiding us, even chastising us, doesn't mean that it's not there. Doesn't mean that it's not happening. It just means that it's something that we cannot see it. We can't see oxygen, but we know we breathe it. We can't see that our heart is beating and that the blood is going through our veins, but we know what's happening. We cannot actually see our hair growing, the smallest amount every minute of the day, but it's happening. There's shit that we cannot see, but we know is going on because we can see the end product. We think about, okay, well, dang, I got to get my hair cut again. Well, you had to get your hair cut again because it was growing, even though you couldn't see it. But in the end, you could tell. If you ever had a panic attack or an asthma attack and you couldn't catch your breath, you knew that the oxygen was not getting in. You couldn't see it, but you knew you wasn't getting it. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, somebody's finding out that all money ain't good money, even if somebody promised you something. And like I said, they see that this emperor was not an emperor at all. This is somebody that just wanted to have them off track, somebody that wanted to see their heart break and crack. This is somebody who told them a whole lot of shit that just didn't make sense. Hey, Baby Yoda. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, the soul archetype, how are you? Did I say hello to you earlier? What's the message? All money ain't good money. All advice ain't good advice. Everybody that say they love you don't necessarily love you, especially if they with the coven. Somebody had to find out the hard way. This wasn't love. This was manipulation. Just because somebody says, I love you, are they saying it from their heart? Or are they saying it while they're looking at your wallet? Two totally different types of love. Is it love or was it lust? Hey, let me put these readers on. I knew I was going to need these suckers. Hey, Anna. Hey, Create. Hey, Shane Shay. How are you? Would you say, y'all going remember me, but I won't remember anyone from my past? Yeah. See, somebody, it's like they had to realize that, just because you have a lot of people around you, don't mean that you're a good person. Don't mean that you're doing things right. Hell, look how many people the devil have. That don't mean that that's the best person to hang around. Yeah, somebody wants to talk to you. And they want to tell you, how they didn't see that they was being manipulated. How, they was told just to ignore you, just to ignore you. Don't listen to nothing the collective is saying. Ignore that person. That person, they don't know what they're talking about. And they're realizing it was just so that they could have a different opinion about you whenever they set out to break your heart, whenever they set out to do you the absolute fucking worst. When they set out to lie to you, to your face. All because they wanted to follow this warlock. Hi, Marcia. What's the message, Spirit? Yep. See, somebody, it's like, something about this group that they were once fighting with. Now they're fighting against. They're fighting against that group because now they've set out, they have different plans that they want for their life. Now they want to work on something that's near and dear to them. And like I said, this person is finding out for the longest that they've been manipulated. Manipulation can happen to anyone. Especially whenever somebody was telling them that your love wasn't real. That you really didn't love them. You really didn't care for them. You was just trying to use them. Only to find out that the person that said you was trying to use them was trying to use them. Somebody had to realize that it was better for them to make their own decisions. Like maybe somebody finally realized that they was an adult. Because sometimes, people get stuck in this child role, especially if they're dealing with their parents and their parents are narcissistic or their grandparents are narcissists. They tend to try and keep that person in their space, in their place. Stay in your place. Hey, don't you raise your voice to me. Hey, don't you talk back to me. Hey, I know what's best. maybe several years ago, but not for your life, not for this person's life. This person is the only one that knows what's best for them. Like I said, I kind of feel like, someone realized, hey, I'm an adult now. Why do I don't have to follow everything that these people say, because these people aren't guiding my life. They don't care. In the big scheme of things, they don't care. Even if these people did have a title, in the big scheme of things, they did not care. And it's like this person had to really, it's like it was mind-blowing for them. They were so worried about, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want them to think this. I don't want them to think that. But really, who gives a shit what the fuck they think? Especially if they don't give a shit about what you think. When you're the adults, whether you an adult child, a parent, a grandparent, whatever, you're all on the same playing field. It's a level playing field. At some point, and I think it's 18? At some point, you need to make your own decisions, especially if you're paying your own bills. And they're not helping you to pay no bills. So you don't give a fuck what they think at that point. You want to be respectful as long as they respecting you. But ain't nobody trying to follow no damn rules of somebody who ain't paying all the damn bills, not just putting a little bit in. I'm saying paying every single one of the fucking bills. And even at that point, even if they are paying all your bills, you still deserve the right as an adult to make your own decisions, because it only is going to affect you. That's it. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. And now this person is thinking about how they listened to somebody else and had a different opinion about you. How they set out listening to somebody else who didn't give a fuck about them, didn't give a fuck about you. All they wanted was that person to listen to them, how they felt. Well, we had already established that, you know what? Joe may feel different about Susie than Helen feels about Susie. So Helen can't listen to Joe because Joe don't like Susie, but Helen does. So if Helen says listening to Joe and Joe's like, treat Susie like fuck, treat her like a tramp, treat her like a hoe, push her down, stab her, flatten her tires, all this other shit, and Helen's doing that, then Susie could be the only one that when Helen is running down the street on fire and Susie the only one that got to go to the bathroom, she may be the only one to be like, hold up, girl, I got you. I got to piss like a Russian racehorse anyway. But see, Joe, because he feeling a certain way, he gonna let her burn. Somebody was only trying to control somebody else's opportunities, somebody else's blessings. They wasn't trying to help. And now somebody realizes that they was being manipulated. They was being controlled by the devil. Until that came to an end. And then this person started thinking about everything that they lost. And how they were sitting there listening to everybody else as opposed to looking at what God was giving them. the direction that God gave them. God said, turn around. It's right here. You ain't got to go all the way over there. That's going to get you lost. That's going to get you on the wrong side of town. What's the message? You know, I remember whenever I was in my, I'm almost 60 now, but I remember whenever I was like in my mid 30s, maybe longer than that. And I used to, you know, I had my own place, was raising my mind, you know, so I'm a parent, I'm an adult, I'm paying my own bills. And my father used to just pop up, just pop over. And I kept telling him, stop that. How you know I didn't have company? You know, how you know I wasn't doing some illegal shit and didn't want to get caught, even though I wasn't? How you know I even felt like being fucking bothered? Stop, I'm an adult. But he kept on until one day I just blew up. Stop coming over my fucking ass like that. And see, I shouldn't even had to blow up and pop off like that in order to get the fucking respect that I deserved. Just because you are a parent to an adult child don't mean that that adult child is still a kid. At some point, you got to treat people with respect. Somebody shouldn't have to pop off, cuss you out, slam the door in your fucking face for you to fucking get the message. See, somebody walked away because they saw that somebody was not being honorable. You know, they walked away from this warlock. They walked away from this somebody who, you know, they should have kept their mouth shut instead of them sitting there talking about, you know, this is somebody who was sitting there saying all this shit about you. If they felt a certain way about you, they should have kept that to them fuck themselves. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say shit. They finally had to fucking walk away because they realized this person was just trying to fuck the relationship up. They was really trying to leave you out in the cold. They was trying to unalive you. They was trying to ruin you. Somebody had to realize that's the shit that was going on. Especially they're talking about some you don't really know how to love. How the fuck they know? And they're not being a good example if they sitting there saying some bad shit about you behind your back. Is that love? Are they teaching somebody that they know how to love? I think not. You practice what you preach. Hey, Oracle Knowledge. You know, I feel like somebody, they kept a lot of shit in that hurt them. It really hurt them. It hurt them, their physical. It hurt their mental. It hurt them from being who they felt like they truly wanted to be. Like it helped this. It was holding this person in so much that they felt like they had to be somebody else that they was told to be. Who wants a life like that? You know, if you wanna grow up and you wanna be somebody famous because you were so good, like in the 6th grade, from playing that little recorder, the little, you know, flute recorder thing that everybody does in the 6th grade, but their parents was like, no, you're gonna get a job and you're gonna work at the mill like everybody else. Everybody always works at the paper mill. And you like, but I want to play my recorder. I want to do that. I want to go to Broadway. I want to play it, this place, that place, playing my recorder. And the parents are like, no, you're going to work in the mill. You know, you grow up and you get a job in the mill and you're hating it, you hate life, and then you like, well, I want to go ahead, I want to marry Joy, and your parents is like, no, you don't need to marry Joy, we don't like her, we don't like Joy at all, she's too happy, we don't like happy people, we want you to marry Bertha. Bertha's controlling, Bertha's a narcissist, but I don't like Bertha. Shut up. You're going to marry Bertha. So you end up hating your own fucking life because you was listening to something that somebody else said you need to do as opposed to what the fuck it is that you want to do. Somebody was holding all that shit in. They was afraid to be me. I feel like they took that chance. They took that leap. Someone is breaking out of the gate. They is like, fuck that, fuck you, fuck what you think, fuck what you say, fuck off, I'm being me. And you know what? They're happy being them. They feel good being them. They're being seen. Oh, next month I'm playing, on Broadway. And guess what? I'm playing my recorder. Mary had a little and the crowd is going wild. Oh, they playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yeah, get down. And you got a whole orchestra in the back and everything. And they with the drums and the violins and the cymbals and everything. And here you are playing your recorder of what you wanted to do from whenever you was a kid, but because you allowed some people who didn't give a shit about what you wanted, you was fucking miserable, ruining your fucking life, following somebody else's direction that was taking you all the way down here in the wrong fucking direction when all you had to really do was turn the fuck around. Or something like that. Mary Had a Little Lamb was probably not the best song, but that was the only song that I could think of. Like I said, somebody finally decided that they wanted to take control of their own life. They wanted to be in control. And you know what? They're being successful doing it. They got victory doing all that shit. And if they said, hey, if that means I gotta leave the family so I can be happy, bye, bitches. Because I deserve to fucking be happy. It's not your fault that somebody else ain't happy. But yet for them to try and stop you from being happy, that's not up to them. It's like I said, somebody had to realize they an adult now. They make their own decisions. If you've always wanted to play the recorder, go play the fucking recorder. If you've always wanted to do this, to be a podiatrist and get that shit and grout from people's toes, go do that shit. Fuck what anybody else say you should be doing. And fuck if somebody say, oh, you don't need to be spiritual. No, spiritual people is evil people. No, it's not. Evil people are how they act. Look at all them damn TV preachers and shit like that don't want to share with the fucking needy. But yet have these, you better use, no, we don't do 10% tithes around here. We do 35% tithes. And we want to see your tax statements. We want to make sure that you're giving us all the money that we can squeeze out your ass. Let me see. What's your 401k look like? Oh, did you say you went to and you played the lottery and you won? How much we getting? We getting that 35% tithes, right? Oh, we don't want you to volunteer. Just give us the money. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Thank you. Yeah, see, they decided it was time for them to heal their own life. They called on Archangel Michael to help them, protect them, guide them. Somebody decided it was time for them to make their own plans and watch that shit come to fruition. And that shit is coming to fruition. And now somebody is finally understanding what it is, what you was talking about. Because what they have their Passover loved ones, that their ancestors here helping them, giving them, affording them, providing them with the biggest and best opportunities that they would have never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever seen before. Had they kept listening to that queen and that king of wands, that witch and that fucking warlock. Had they kept listening to them, they still would have been working on the wrong shit. Doing the wrong thing, unhappy, miserable. They decide somebody, like I said, somebody is traveling to you. They want to tell you that you was right. You was right about their wish fulfillment. You was right that all they had to do was fucking turn around, and there was that ninth cup right there, not all the way over there. But you know what? You and your spirituality, you and your sixth sense, seventh sense, eighth sense, ninth sense, whatever, that's some shit right there. They want to tell you that you know what? You were right. You're gonna get your flowers. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Kathleen, how are you? I love you too. I love you more. What's the message, Spirit? Yes. See, it took this person having to think about what they've been doing for the longest, the longest road that they've been on, and for them to really think, clearly, like, am I happy? Am I happy? Am I doing what I want to do? And then this person realized, no, they was not happy doing some shit that they didn't want to do, and they wasn't even doing what they wanted to do. They was doing some shit that somebody else told them to do. And they was sitting there thinking about that. I'm not even doing the shit that I want to do. I'm doing some shit that this queen or king of wands told me that I would be happy if I did it this way. But they seeing that they're not happy doing it. They was not happy following somebody else's direction of, oh, this is going to make you happy. How the fuck does that person know? Because if they don't like your spirituality, we know they're not spiritual. If they don't like it that you got a gift and that, you can sense things, you can feel the energy and everything else, and it's like you just happen to know shit, and they said that shit is the devil, so they're not practicing that shit at all. They got them closed heart chakra, closed mind chakra, closed. All 7 chakras is closed tight. So how the fuck would they know? They just wanted somebody else to be miserable, just like their ass was fucking miserable. They didn't want somebody else to grow up to be happy because they didn't grow up to be happy. They grew up listening to what somebody else told them they needed to do, as opposed to them just taking a chance on themselves and doing what the fuck they wanted to do. And even if they did start off doing what the fuck they wanted to do, maybe they got sidetracked and they got sidetracked by the gift of, ooh, is that a shiny penny over there? Is that a gold penny over there? I'm gonna chase that. Or, ooh, he is so cute. Or look at her fat ass. Got sidetracked by that stupid shit. As opposed to saying, you know what? I'm gonna follow what I want to do. I'm not going to look to the left. I'm not going to look to the right. I'm going to follow what I feel like this is my purpose in life. This is what I need to do. I can't tell you, I had so many people in my family, when they found out that I read tarot, oh, is that the devil? No, it's not the fucking devil. Look how the fuck you acting. That's the devil. That's the devil right there. People are like, oh, no, I don't get around, get down like that. No, I don't believe in all that. No. Well, what the fuck you believe in? Loving them and leaving them? stealing from somebody, tricking somebody out their fucking spot. What the fuck it is that you believe in? I believe in God. Don't judge me before you judge yourself. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. Somebody finally found what they was really looking for, and they happy. It's like, I feel like what this is, God said, you put one step in your direction, I'm gonna put two. They finally figured out what they wanted to do, and God said, let me give it to you right here. Here you go. Get in the boat. Get in the boat. I'm leading you to calmer waters. I'm leading you away from what everybody else think that they want to say about your life. No longer having to think, did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Somebody, realizing that maybe they didn't do the right thing when it came to your relationship. And now they got to sit here and try and plan to get back on track, to go the right way, to go the right path. I'm telling you, somebody want to send you a message that, hey, I'm going to be in your area. I just wanted to see if I could stop by, but we could have you want to go get some lemonade, you want to go get some coffee, you want to go get a drink, you want to get some lunch or something. Because this is somebody that you have a relationship with. This is somebody who feel that they need to be around you. This is somebody that understand and appreciate the God in you. And they want to talk about how they listen to this Queen of Wands, who turned out to be nothing but a devil's disciple, who was sitting there bad mouthing you for the longest, saying all this wrong shit about you, and how they were sitting here, they didn't feel right, and they it's been an internal struggle with them, how they was fighting themselves just to even fucking sleep at night. How they was told one thing is going to come in when it was something else that came in. It wasn't goodness and tidings, it was calamity. And how somebody was like, trust and believe, you keep just doing it like this. I know what I'm talking about. You just keep doing it like that. Keep on, keep on, keep on. And it never happened. It never happened. They just got so far down the fucking road, and they was like, damn, what that sign say? I wonder what it mean when it said road closed. Like, where the rest of the road? Because they couldn't go any further than what they already went. Then they looked at the next line down. They said, the next road you take is going straight to hell. And they're like, wait a minute. I don't want to do all that. I wasn't told about that shit. I'm telling you, somebody want to come and they want to talk to you. How, you took your life in your own hands. You made your own decisions. How you said to everybody else who didn't agree with you, two of these and one of these, baby. Sweet spot gang sign. Sit and spin, baby. Sit and spin. Because I'm going to be happy. Y'all miserable motherfuckers can be miserable all you want, but I'm going to be happy. Hey, E, Angel Bostic, how are you? Yeah. It's like they want to talk about, how they didn't even see. It's like it took a minute for them to really see that there were some hidden enemies that was trying to get them against you, and how they was always so confused, and and until they had these 10 swords in their own back. Like, there's a card that I made that said, hey, if they don't like your mama, they don't like you. And that's for all those aunties and uncles and grandparents and friends and all this other shit that want to talk shit about your parents to you, and then expect you to co-sign on their shit. Whereas that adult child need to realize, wait a minute, I know you ain't talking about my mama or my daddy like that. Cause bitch, whose hoo-ha did I come out of? It wasn't yours. I ain't come out of you. I ain't none of yours. So before you open up your motherfucking mouth to talk about my parent, you better talk about your own damn mama or daddy. Because if they don't like your parent, they don't like you. Somebody had to realize that. Somebody had to realize that. You know, and they also had to realize when somebody's telling you the truth, it's in your best interests to hear them out, because they're not telling you some shit to hurt you. They're telling you some shit out of love. So it's not like you can just sit here and say, well, I don't like how they saying it, or I'm not ready to hear this yet. You may not be ready to hear it, but sometimes you need to. When your boss tell you, oh, it's mandatory 10 hours a week overtime, you ain't ready to hear that shit ever. But if you want to keep your job and keep eating and keep paying your bills and keep laying in your bed and keeping a roof over your head, it's going to behoove you to hear what the fuck they got to say. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, how they were sitting there talking all that shit about the Queen of Cups, and the shit wasn't even true. Talking about some, shh, don't tell your mama I said that. That's between us, because we don't want her going. And somebody was just keeping it all in. Keeping it all in. You know how much pressure that is? You know, and then they sitting here looking at the ramifications of these actions, putting all this stress and pressure on somebody who didn't even fucking deserve it, trying to leave somebody out in the cold, you know, not and then they thinking that they giving it to somebody else, only to find out they was giving their shit straight to the devil. Now somebody understand exactly why you stood by yourself, why you separated yourself, why you ain't have shit to say to them motherfuckers. Now somebody understand the fucking truth of the entire situation. Now they want to come and they want to apologize. They want to bring that cup because they see you got 9 cups of your own. They want to bring that. They want to be that 10th cup. Sometimes it be like that. Like I said, sometimes people are just afraid to understand and to recognize, you know what, I am an adult. I ain't got to listen to what these motherfuckers say. I don't have to have the same opinion that they have. And if they don't want to be around me because I love Susie, if they don't want to be around me, then fuck them. That goes to show their level of intelligence, not mine. People are going to have more respect for you when you make your own decisions as opposed to following the fucking crowd. What's the message, Spirit? I know I saw one foot. Here it is. Yes. People are going to have a lot more respect for you if you go the way that you know you need to go, that works for you. Fuck what anybody else got to say. Fuck how anybody else feel about the situation. Them motherfuckers they're not coming to you talking about some, hey, come here. I'm thinking about being happy. So should I wear this or should I wear that? Should I go here or should I go there? Should I do this or should I do that? Should I date this person or that person? I just want to be happy. Which one should I do? They're not asking you for that shit. So for them just to feel like they can pop off and tell you what you need to do to be happy, you need to be telling them, come here, come here, come here. I need you to go fuck yourself. What's the message, Spirit? That's one of the secrets of joy. Making your own decisions. Not following the crowd. Yes, exactly. Because then everything is going to turn in your favor. And God's got your back because you consulted with the Most High. You didn't consult with Uncle Joe. You didn't consult with Grandma or Pat or auntie or cousin or best friend. You didn't consult with them. You said, God, you're going to lead and guide and direct my steps in the way that you want me to go. That's when everything starts going in your favor. Because God said, oh, look at my child. There's no more confusion. There's no more doing the wrong thing and leaving somebody out in the cold, the person that you should have kept close to you. Because you know what? You are practicing your own spirituality. You're asking God for the guidance, and God is telling you the absolute positive truth. God is leading you to victory. God got you everything that you need. As opposed to trying to figure out, damn, why I always feel like we fighting? Why I always feel like this? Why I always feel like that? And then you having to protect yourself and wondering if somebody else going to try and come in and sneak attack you. That shit don't make sense, do it? What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yeah, all money ain't good money for sure. For shizzo. Hey, High Priestess, how are you? All money is not good money. And see, somebody, they feel like, you know, they don't want to be on block. Somebody didn't feel protected when they was with this king and queen of wands. They did not feel like they had any type of protection whatsoever. They felt like everything was you know, like somebody could come and just do some shit, you know. They like, oh, unlock your door. Unlock my door for what? Oh, because so-and-so came from out of town and I told them they could stay with you. What? How come you didn't ask me? Just unlock your door. Just let them in. Stop being difficult. See, that kind of bullshit. That's taking somebody for granted. That's thinking that you got that's overstepping your motherfucking boundaries. That called for what you call a pop to the chops. Yeah, Archangel Michael. Somebody had to say some shit to somebody else to let them know in no uncertain motherfucking terms, baby. In no uncertain terms, bitch. You ever had your ass kicked really good and proper like, and then had the same person that kicked your ass take you to the fucking hospital? Because I will. I'm that one. Somebody had to have somebody go clear the fuck off. Yes. And see, that's when they realized when somebody overstepped their bounds, they was not happy at all. That wasn't happiness. That was confusion. They were stressed. They didn't know what else this person was going to try or do. They had no fucking clue. That's when somebody realized, I ain't happy with this setup at all. Fuck that motherfucker. Somebody probably even had to take somebody else to court. over some bullshit. And they won because the truth came out. Somebody had to take somebody's ass to fucking court. Yes, and they won. That's why somebody said, let me get on back to where I need to be. Let me stop this bullshit and get on back to where the fuck I need to be. That's when somebody realized, think it's a motherfucking game. Stop. Somebody had to wake up, open up their eyes, and realize that everybody ain't sweet and kind and caring and compassionate and understanding like you. There's some fucking dogs out in the world, and they ran into a wild pack of motherfucking dogs. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. See, somebody that they're hoping that you allow them, that that you allow yourself to accept them again. And that, you don't just turn your back on them forever, and that y'all can rebuild. That you'll want to invest in them again. Because they know they done fucked up. They know they fucked up, especially whenever it came to this crew, the old Coven crew, the CC Coven crew. But see, somebody realized that it's time for them to turn their back on all that simple shit, all that easy shit, everything that looks shiny, everything that because the devil dressed up to make himself look like they was the best catch. Like somebody went to the club and they saw, this girl, and she had, all of this. She had a fat ass. She had a real small waist, the prettiest of blue eyes, all that long flowing hair. Her teeth was perfect, and she flawless skin and everything. And her feet was real small and her nails was all properly done. And they was like, yes, I have met my match. Oh my gosh, I want her. And they treating her like a queen that night. And they like, let me take you to breakfast in the morning. And in fact, spend the night with me. And she's like, okay. Get home. She take a wig off. She take her teeth out. She pop them contacts out. You see her digging like this, only to find out that she take this fake face off. She take the waist trainer off. She take the bra off, and all these socks come out. She take the drawers off, and with it come the fake booty. She's unclipping the nails and shit. Her feet. She said, yeah, you know how the Chinese women used to bind their feet? She unbound hers and uncurled her toes, and she had these like gnarly looking toenails and shit. And they's like, damn, who the fuck are you? I'm the one from the club. Not looking like that. See, so every time you see something on the outside, that's not necessarily what you really getting. Or if that person did look like that, she may be the one that walk around and she want to do this and poot everywhere. And they're like, damn, something die up in here. So open up the window. Or she talk with, she put stuff her mouth with food, and she talking while she eating, food just flying everywhere. You take her to church and shit, and she like, fuck that motherfucker. Fuck that preacher. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck you. That embarrassing shit. You be like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? Gotta be careful. And then they sitting there thinking, damn, you know what? Beth was at home. She was quiet. She was ladylike. She cooked. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. She was natural. Her hair was her hair. Her nails were her nails. And that's the one that I should have stuck with. So all that shiny shit, It's only shiny on the outside. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? And you like, damn, wait, you practice what? Satanic what? Gots to be careful. What's the message? Yeah, because you don't know what they got planned for you. Gots to be careful. Make your own decisions. Follow your own lead, your own God. If you need advice, don't turn to Uncle John, Aunt Mary. Don't turn to Pop Joe or Granny Joyce. Talk to God. God is always going to keep you in the know. Talk to God. God's going to get you give you the right directions. God's going to be like, it's right here. You ain't got to go all the way down there. That's wasting your time. Talk to God. What else, Spirit? What else? Yeah, something about the sun. Everything is all out in the open. Somebody sees clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Something about the month of January, and we in the month of January. Somebody is finally growing a pair of nuts. They finally growing them. They finally letting them testicles hang. Whether you're male or female, they finally letting. If you're male, you're finally letting the testicles hang. If you're female, you're finally taking off that support bra to take your shit all the way up here and make it more natural so that they really just hang where they are. Because people don't believe that your shit is way up in here. See, when people lie, them lies run deep. And like I said, they agreed to not tell you about the money. What else? Anything else? Yeah, somebody, they're starting to age quickly. And that's because they're rotting from the inside out. Somebody's realizing they was a follower. And karma has set in and they are sick. But the good news is your name has been cleared. And like I said, sweet spot. We at that sweet spot where intention meets the flow of spirit. If you got to give them the sweet spot gang sign, do it to it. See, somebody acted ignorant towards you because they was coached. And they threw obstacles in your way because somebody else had an issue with you that you didn't even know. And they are so mad at this liar. They are. The past returns. And you're getting justice. All right, y'all, we're going to swing the pendulum. So go ahead and get your question. Think about what your question is. All right. What is your question? And it looks like the answer is yes. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to leave it right there. I'll be back in a little bit. I love you all. Thank you so very much. Hold on a second. Let me put these spectacles on. Hey, Lakeisha. Or Lakeish. No, Lakeisha. Hey, Sympharian, how are you? Okay, Tracy. How are you, Tracy? I'm glad to see that. I'll remember that one so much better. All right, yeah. Okay, y'all, I'll be back a little bit later. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I appreciate everything and everyone. If you have not had an opportunity to subscribe and you like the Sweet Spot Soul Tribe vibe, please do, because we would love to have you. All right, y'all. I look forward to seeing you soon, a little bit later today. Bye now.